What is going on, everyone? It's DC3 Johnson here with another MLB franchise mode video, guys. So we are going to be starting off here in this video. We're going to go take care of the first year draft to take care of some prospects here. I'm not gonna lie, I pretty much relied on my scouting team to really pretty much do the scouting. I don't really do much. I mean, the good thing about baseball is, like, technically speaking, the rookies don't end up they don't end up going into the pros until maybe like 2 or 3 years after. So in a sense, like, even if you pick a bad person, like, you wouldn't really know until like a year or two after. So technically, if your job as a GM was literally just to pick prospects, you probably have yourself a good 3 years before they fire you, even if you pick a bad person. But anyways, we're just gonna go with whatever we see fit here. One thing I do recommend you guys to do is definitely you guys want to make sure you guys spread out your regions, because when I started, I think we had like 3 scouts for the West region, and we didn't have anybody for like the Central and the International. So there's 4 regions. There's obviously West, East, there's Central, and then there's the International, which is more like for like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and obviously obviously other parts of the world. But obviously the players in the Caribbean are very, very famous in the baseball, and so. So definitely you want to make sure you get yourself a good amount of scouting diverse in all those sections before you do any sort of like scouting reports, especially for draft picks. So that way you're not just like developed on one region. You have multiple regions to kind of like dig around the bucket and everything. And so with that being said, I think supposedly it's only like 5 rounds, and I'm already out of picks, so I'm just gonna go with the one that says like it's gonna be a guaranteed green, in a sense like that we know, like, okay, this is what he's gonna end up being, and I'm trying to see if there's anybody. Now at this point we're just going with the yellows and seeing. Remember, 80 is like the highest overall. That's kind of like a 99 overall for baseball. They just do like that metric of 20 to 80. I don't know why, it's weird, but I guess it's just the way they do it. And so now I'm just going to go with the top recommended person at this point to finish out, and then that should pretty much do our draft here. And so we're going to go ahead and continue the simulation. So far so good. Looks like we're going to get a sweep here against the Giants, and so already with a win against the D-backs, looks like our boy Jake is trying to get a triple here, but we're just going to go ahead and try to get to the season, because right now we have MLB 21 on the way, so we got to make sure we have really make enough time for it. So we're going to try to cut through the season. I do want to do at least one more season after, so at least we can get some good gameplay and some good experience on the franchise mode. And so I'm really thinking about this, and apparently 2 home runs, 3 home runs, so we're gonna go ahead and go for it here. Just taking a quick peek at our standings right now. Look at that, 49 wins on the top of the NL West here, which is a rare thing, and definitely it's a good thing to be proud of, and I'm really happy for this team, and I'm really hoping we can continue these results, and as we come in. It's a tie ball game, so I was like, I don't know, I don't really like to do these, but I'm like, it's a tie ball game, so at least we can do is get ourselves a hit to kind of get the ball rolling here. It's bottom of the 8 too, so technically speaking the pressure's on, and so right now we're gonna hit. Yeah, we're gonna end up coming up short, so it's gonna be 2 outs. Bottom of the 8 tie ball game. And so with that being said, we go to the top of the 9. Looks like they do a walk, and it's now bottom. We have a fly out, and it's a 2-run home run to end the game by Manny Machado, and that ends the game at 10-8, I believe. So we end up getting the win against the Diamondbacks there, and kudos to Machado. Machado is actually one of the reasons, for those of us curious, so Machado is actually one of the reasons why I really started paying attention to the Padres again, was because, that 10-year, $300 million contract, you're like, you can't help but be curious to see how it unfolds, as we end up dropping all 3 games to Cincinnati. And now we're going against our division rivals, the Rockies. We're dropping a couple games here. And now the Indians, who also will be going through a name change in the future. This might be next year will be the final game that they'll be known as the Indians. and they'll be switching their title to something completely different. Not really too sure what yet. They'll end up letting us know, I believe, at next year. Just kind of like the Washington, well, what used to be the Washington Redskins, and now they're the Washington football team. Like, they still haven't really developed a new mascot name. Word on the street is it's due to the fact that they couldn't come up with a deal for like a new name and everything, because I guess someone like bought a bunch of trademarks with the name Washington on it, and so I've heard they're working out a deal with him, like paying him cash and all that. And so look at our boy Tatis is the player of the game. And so we're going to go ahead and simulate here. And so we're going to go once again with our boy Eric Hausner, who's continuing a hit streak here. And so here we go, guys. It's going to be a single into first base here. So we keep the streak going for him. And we end up getting another opportunity here as an outfielder on defense to get the double play here at the last second. And so with that being said, I believe that should pretty much close out our game. Unfortunately, we end up coming short against the Phillies on this occasion. And so it is what it is. And so right now it's going to be a 12-hit game streak on the line. Going to try it one more time here. And I'll go ahead and leave the audio.
Hit in the air to left. Let's go halfway. McCutcheon is under it. He gets there to put it away, but the runner tags and breaks for third. And he is in there at third as the
slugfest. This was like a throwback game when home runs weren't so common and pitching was really.
And so unfortunately we end up coming short against the Mets there. And it's going to be our boy Granderson. For those of you who don't know, we actually had Curtis Granderson on the Miami Marlins for our franchise mode for MLB 19. And so here he comes into the bases, guys. Vet. Definitely with experience. And right now it looks like we got a man on third, a man on first. So we're going to go for it right here. Ooh, look at this right here. It's going to go fly up. I think it's going to be a single right here. Yeah, we end up getting the RBI for our boy Granderson. And so that is going to be another hit for our boy. Just take a quick look at the replay here. Just a perfect sort of a hit. It almost ends up being a pop out. But I think they end up screwing up and being like, who gets it, who gets it, who gets it. So ends up being a single for us, and we do end up getting that win against the Mets. Lord knows we needed that victory because I felt the Dodgers just right on our tail. And so, yeah, Manny Machado, player of the game, 3 for 4. Not a bad performance here. As we end up. Oh, speaking of the devil, now we're going to be facing the Miami Marlins. Just taking a quick peek here at the pennant. Still no World Series titles. Definitely going to be pursuing the first one here for our boys. And so with that being said, we'll go ahead and just simulate here. And so it's going to be a rematch here against the Dodgers. Just going to go really quick and fast here, guys. Looks like we end up getting a couple hits there. And JT, just trying to see if we could develop some offense here. In the 6th here, double play though, and boom, we get a run score there. And so with Austin, just end up getting another hit right there. So it's going to be a 2-run homer. So now it's a 5-0 game here, top of the 5th. And so now David Price, who opted out of last season's performance, is now going to be the one here coming in. And so it's going to be a 6-0 game here, top of the 6th. We got Peterson on base, who is now no longer with the Dodgers. But definitely got that World Series ring. So I guess it was somewhat worth it, definitely. And so now hopefully he gets that bigger performance that he was looking for, that bigger role with, I believe he's with the Cubbies. I could be wrong. Leave a comment below if I'm wrong. But I believe that is what, from what I'm aware, that I believe that is where he is from, or where he ended up going. And so right now it's going to be a nice win for us. We don't end up having to bat in the bottom of the 9th. And so it's going to be a 6-1 win. Machado with 3 runs. No point in really getting into that one. That was going to be a tough loss. And so we end up winning the series 2-1 against the Dodgers. And so we end up heading over to All-Star break. And so we're going to take a quick peek at the home run derby. It is going to be at Dodger Stadium. We end up getting another win against the Giants here. And so, with that being said, just taking a quick peek. So, Corey Seager and Mookie Betts from the Dodgers. Nobody from the Padres, unfortunately. Looks like 2 from the Twins. 1 from the Astros. Ha 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 ha. But did they have to use the mics to get those home runs or nah? The Astros. Oh, yeah. Good times. Good times. And so now we're going to move on here to the second half of the season. So look at the 63 wins. Got a slight edge over the Dodgers. And unfortunately, we end up taking an L against the Brewers there. And so now it's going to be our boy Jake. Right now, we're trying to avoid a sweep here against the Brewers here. And we're trying to keep a win because remember, we're only up by 3 wins. Right now, we did lose, so the Dodgers could potentially be about a game and a half behind, which, remember, especially with baseball, remember, this is still under the old system where it was a wild card game. So I believe it was basically, I know now it's like 2 or 3 wild card games. This is still the one with only like 5 teams right now. So we got to make sure we avoid the wild card game because it's a single game elimination. That is actually one of the things. Let me know what you guys think. I do want to go ahead and say that I do believe that the wild card game should be a best of 3 now. It should be like the wild card round. Best of 3. So basically do best of 3, best of 5 for the division series still, and then 7 and 7 for the championship series. That's just me. That way, at least money-wise, it makes sense because that way, each wild card team is guaranteed to host 1 game apiece. Like technically, the team with the lowest seed could host game 1, and then game 2 and 3 could be with the team with the highest seed. So that way, worst case scenario, they lose. They still have another opportunity still at home, basically. And it kind of gives the advantage to like, yeah, you play the first game at road, but you could potentially close it off at home, basically. So I would say definitely a good thing. But anyway, guys, we'll end up closing the game here with this simulation. That should take us to the end of the month, guys. I really do appreciate you guys sticking around to the end to watch everything. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We'll go ahead and continue with the simulation on the next video, guys. Take care, guys, and stay safe out there.